This week on the Escape Key project, we're using the famous Einstein tile. So there's the finished product in a frame, and those are little pieces, and it's based on this very famous Einstein one stone tile that was discovered. It's something that can be geometrically matched and tessellated and looks like a t-shirt. And my thought was to have a frame, and in the frame would have the outline of the t-shirt with some clues for keys, and then those pieces would come out so that they would actually have to fit them into the frame to work out what was missing. And then I started thinking about the letters and which letters had good symmetry and which could be deceptive in terms of lettering or not. If you look at the letters there, for example, that half letter, that could be P or it could be F. And you'd actually have to find the other half of the piece to identify if it's a P or an F. Likewise, I was looking at A, and if you had the top part and you didn't know which way round the letter was, it could be an A or a V. So that was my mission, and when I identified the letters that were best at that, I noticed that there was crafty in them. And that made me think, well, if I can make the word crafty, and this is Inge's anagram generator, I was looking for words that I could put with crafty, and we're looking at that. I actually got rid of crafty and identified very, very quickly, I should have looked at this myself, that you could actually have a crafty job. So I thought that'd be quite fun to have as a little secret message placed in. And so there's crafty job, CRAFTYJOB, and there's the lettering placed out in a mixed variety, and the letters are upside down and skew if. And then I thought I probably needed to show if I could have keys underneath to help people out, because they were going to be in two parts. So I was going to have the keycaps. So the next picture shows me aligning the letters with the keycaps, and they're not going to be printed with the keycaps, they're going to be printed separately. So you'll be able to use those green outlines to identify where the letter should be. This is me just manually placing the letters so it's a bit more accurate in where I want it to be. And this will hopefully help people to solve the puzzles, but also give them a little clue that letters need to be aligned in the middle or not. This took a little while to do, but was very satisfying. And this letter font, it's called Secret Code, and it's freely available on DaFont, which I quite like. The fixed width of it, and I also like the fact that it's going to engrave really nicely. So here are my templates now. These are SVGs. So this side has got the quadrilaterals that make up the Einstein tile with the letters, and this side is going to have the outline cut out, and then these green squares, the keycaps that are going to be coloured in. And this is the frame that I bought. It's an A3 frame, and it comes with a range of layers. So there's the backing paper, frame if you want it smaller, and then some 2mm acrylic that I didn't use in the end because I wanted something more substantial. So I'm using 3mm perspex, which is stronger and it's clear, and then I've got my favourite thing, which is the black MDF, which I'm going to put the letters on. But you'll notice that there's a slight overhang both on the left hand side and top to bottom, so I'm actually going to have to cut these down, which is why there was a rectangle on the designs. So I had to measure the framework that gets placed within the frame itself, and then got the laser cutter to cut the pieces. And this is it cutting the black MDF. This took 2 minutes, and then it cut the plastic, the perspex, with the letters, and that took 22 minutes. So there's an estimate of time. These are acrylic pens, or Posca pens, is the official brand name, and there's me colouring in the letters. So that's colouring in the gap. And I'm doing this before taking away the plastic, because then you can peel the plastic away. You have a nice crisp letter underneath, and those letters will really, really stand out then. The plastic is enormously satisfying to peel away, so this is me peeling it away. I took a little while to colour in the letters, but I wanted to make sure that the colouring went all the way to the bottom, and so that they stand out even as they're clear. And I think for the future I'll probably use, if I was to extend this further, I'd probably use a sort of milky perspex instead, semi-transparent, because this at the moment is going to be transparent. It's got the plastic on the back. And then I spent a long time colouring in these keycaps, This is green, although it actually looks a little bit sort of aquamarine or blue on the screen itself. This took a long time, 3/4 of a minute for each one, so not time that I was particularly budgeting for. And I think again in the future I'd cut these out and cut them out in plastic acrylic, so a green, and then stick them again because it's much easier. So there's the finished article. There's a piece that I can place. Not enormously easy to see under this light, but you'll be able to see that people will have to play the pieces, put them in correctly, and then identify which letter is missing. I wonder if you freeze frame that and see if you can work out which letter is missing from the range there. So I'm very happy with how it's finished up. I would probably change the green lettering, but I'm fascinated to know what you think. Leave a comment below, and please do like and subscribe for more content just like this.